Hey everyone. I hope I'm live everywhere. I'm not doing a countdown today because I am about an hour and a half later than I wanted to be going live. So I'm going to let people trickle in here before I dive into the news. None of it good, meaning the news. In fact, there is some horrific news that just broke right as I was about to go live. There's no sugarcoating it. There's been another mass school shooting. So I'm collecting information as it comes in. I'm also solo today in the truest sense of the word. There's not going to be anyone in the chat. And I'm the only one who is streaming, obviously. We'll have Tina on later on in the week, and hopefully Sam as well. It's kind of like girls take over this week. Jordan is off. He's kind of on a forced week off, a much deserved week off. As you're well aware, he's really carried the load of status quo on his back since November, since I got COVID. And so I'm giving him some time to take off here. So it'll be a Jenn coup. I like that hashtag Jenn coup throughout this week here. So you'll have to bear with me as I use my other computer to send the text so we have more people join us. And I'm also going to send out an email so more people join us. I'll talk to you as that all happens. Multitasking is not my strong suit, but we're gonna make it happen. Oh, already getting the super chat started here. Catty Wax, or maybe Katie Wax, $20 in the super chat. Hi, Jen. Glad to see you're feeling better. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm not 100%, but compared to how I was feeling earlier, I feel just comparatively so much better. I'm truly grateful. Having felt so poorly for so long, it makes you really appreciate the simple things. Being able to walk down the stairs, being able to live stream, being able to chat with you guys. I really appreciate it. My mood has boosted so dramatically since I've been able to start live streaming again and getting back into the swing of things. So I very much appreciate you guys. So thank you, Katie Wax. I appreciate you for sure. Absolutely. John Sylvester, 4 weeks off. JQ, is Jordan getting fired? Never. So just he's been working literally from sunup to way past sundown on this Flint story, which will tell you the behind the scenes of trying to get this newest Flint story published. It's always drama and trying to get the story published, just backs and forths between the editors. And, a lot of people don't realize that you have to go through a lawyer review of the article before a story can be published. So, they make sure there are not going to be any legal hurdles. So we go through that. And so the story's been pushed back a lot, not because we've done anything wrong or there's anything wrong with the story, just because we've gotten some real dirt on some real powerful people. So that's what that's all about. So Jordan needs some real rest here. So, I welcome you guys on YouTube, and I welcome you guys on Twitch. If you aren't aware, we are being heavily suppressed on YouTube, and it's not just suppression anymore. It seems like they're actively trying to inch us off the platform. So I urge you guys, if you are not already on Twitch, go right now, open up a new tab, and go to twitch.tv/statusquo. Open up that new account or use the account you already have and follow us. Follow us on Twitch. We're almost up to 3,000 followers. I really want to reach that super soon. We have 15 subscribers as well. You can subscribe for special perks. And we have someone named Tony who's helping us out he knows the layout of the Twitch land. Jordan and I certainly don't. So we're learning as we go. We're learning what bits are. We're learning what emotes are. So, thank you X4Yak2NTGB for subscribing. Fantastic. Firsty Ferret, the moderator on Twitch, is there. And we have Firsty Ferret cheered 500 bits. Fantastic. And we have people following us, so I'll give shout outs to that, all that sort of stuff. And so I urge you guys, as I said, to do that. If you are on YouTube, please like the stream. I don't yet know if there's an equivalent to that on Twitch. If there is, do that. Share the stream, share the Twitch stream, share everything everywhere on all your social channels. So here's the true behind the scenes. Here's what I need to do before I can actually start reporting. I need to send this is stuff other people normally do when the person who's live, this is what someone does behind the scenes. So they remind people in the chat to like the stream, to smash the like button. They send the text. They maybe send the email. And they make sure the thumbnail is up on YouTube, because sometimes the thumbnail does not show up on YouTube, even if you add it. They make sure the feed is live on YouTube, which I need to do immediately because I don't think I did that, which is a real issue. There's a lot that goes into this streaming thing. People normally have things called, it just started its own thing. So I just need to edit and change the thumbnail on my stream so that when people see this, they know what's up. Okay, and put it in the entertainment channel, which is certainly not fitting at all for today. No, it's not made for kids. So I'm taking you on a kind of a behind the scenes journey into what other people normally do, but I'm on my own. So Sam is taking care of family matters. And as I told you, Jordan is out right now. So we're gonna make do. We're gonna make do. I hope everyone is well. As I mentioned, this is not going to be anywhere even close to a happy-go-lucky stream. I'm extraordinarily disturbed by everything that's happening in the news right now. It's same old on one hand. On the other hand, it's, you don't want to get complacent. You don't want to get to a place where this is normal at all or normalized. And I fear that we are getting there. People say that this is something that's happening, that these school shootings, which if you're just joining us, there is a new school shooting, which the news broke just as I was going live. And I'll get into that. The details are just coming out. I need to add some tags here. So bear with me here. Minnesota is one tag. So adding these tags, I'll kind of walk you through this as I do it. Adding these tags, I'm doing this on YouTube right now. This helps YouTube show people what we're talking about or what the video is about. So when people enter search terms on YouTube, it helps people find our video. So I'm typing in police brutality, Black Lives Matter, and let's see, Brooklyn Center, because of this Black man who police just murdered, which we will absolutely get into this quite in depth. That is where this took place, a suburb outside of Minneapolis. And I'm going to type in Minneapolis. And the gentleman's name who was murdered is Daunte Wright, or Daunte. Daunte Wright. And I'll go back and type more in later, but that's okay for now. Okay, so once again, if you are just joining us, please make sure that you are signed up for Twitch. YouTube is massively suppressing us. Twitch.tv/statusquo. You'll also notice in my name right here, statusquo.pub/email. What we've known all along is that we cannot rely on YouTube alone or any of these third-party platforms. And that's something that, I've been in internet marketing and digital marketing for probably 12, 13 years at this point. What I've known all along is that these companies come and go. These companies can kick you off at will. So you never want to build your own company on the backs of them. And what I mean by that is, being on YouTube is not a business. It is a tool for your business. So we use, and any business should use YouTube as a tool. And when we have your email or your phone number, that allows us to contact you and tell us where our reporting is, no matter what happens. If YouTube kicks us off tomorrow and we have your email address, we can say, hey, just go to our website and you'll find our reporting there. Or, go to Twitch instead because YouTube is doing XYZ. So go ahead and put your email in, open up that new tab, statusquo.pub/email, and that way we can contact you no matter what shenanigans these third-party sites pull. So do that now. You can also whip out your phone, do it now while you're thinking about it, and text COUP to 370-370. And I really appreciate you mods in the chat. You help out so much. Definite shout out to moderators. You are true heroes. And I really, really appreciate all of you bearing with me. I know it is not super fun to hear me talk about the behind the scenes of business. Trust me, I know. But, if I'm going to have to be doing this, I may as well tell you what I'm doing, right? Maybe you want to start streaming. Austin Patton, thank you. $5 in the super chat. It helps us so much. I also should mention that YouTube has dramatically decreased our income, like dramatically, by around 70%. And that's because they've dropped the number of people that they're showing our content to. They'd rather show CNN and MSNBC and corporate outlets, not status quo. So your super chats help us a ton. We're also doing our fundraiser, GoFundMe.com/statusquo. So what I'm doing right now on my other computer is going to our text message service, which, by the way, costs a fortune. This is a scam. The amount that it costs to run a text message list is outrageous. Just completely insanity, complete insanity. So this is where, when you type in COUP to 370-370, that's what I'm doing right now. So if you type it in right now, you'll see how it works, because you'll get this text that I'm about to type in. Pretty exciting, pretty fun. And let's see. No. It helps if you do it the right way. It really does. I really do hope that everyone has a good start to their week, even if the news front is definitely not off to a good start by any means. If you're just joining us, you are no doubt aware that in Minnesota, a police officer has murdered yet another Black man. Highly disturbing. The latest thing that came out, and my jaw dropped when this news came out, was that the police officer meant to use their taser and not their gun. Those are different things. A gun is not a taser. Those are very different things. I am horrified, as are any people, as is any person with a brain, any person with a heart, any person with morals. So we're going very in depth with that. There's also been a school shooting, which we will go into as well. I believe there's been another super chat by the incredibly supportive Austin Patton. Thank you, Austin Patton. $5 in the super chat saying, smash the like button and share, please. You guys are so helpful. Thank you, Austin. That really helps, especially since I am solo today. Smash the like button and share. If there is such a thing as a like button on Twitch, do that or do the equivalent. I am admittedly extraordinarily new to Twitch. I don't know the ins and outs. I am learning. Firsty Ferret is helping me. Tony is helping us at Status Quo to learn everything. We have a long learning curve here, but we're trying. Definitely do follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/status quo. Okay, I'm still sending this text. Text COUP to 370-370. So I'm writing in here the headline, Minnesota police officer murders innocent Black man again. Jenn live. Let's see here. Oh, cool. So Tony's in the chat. He just texted me. So everyone in Twitch land, give a total shout out to Tony. He's awesome. Tony Pisano. He works on the Damasco team with Anthony Damasco, and they are redoing our website. And the Damasco team, by the way, when our statusquo.com website was hacked, they totally saved our asses. We were hacked on purpose, and it almost destroyed our business. They, whoever hacked us, messed with the webhooks from Stripe to our website so that payments were not going through and members were being canceled. And it was, as a small startup, that was a huge issue. So the Damasco team is awesome. Anthony Damasco's awesome. Tony's awesome. Major shout out to them. This text is getting sent. You hear the jingle. the jingle tells you that it's almost done. Just only almost. There's a lot that goes into running a media company. People don't realize. You guys realize it because you guys are the true status quoers. The true people who I'm not going to send the email because that's just going to take way too much time. Okay, so let's dive in here. Hopefully more people will trickle in now that I finally have that text out. So keep the super chats coming. Look, I'm sweating now. Sending text sweat. Don't mind me. As part of my long hauler COVID, I have fevers every day. So I hopefully sound a lot better, but I still have daily low-grade fevers. I have my fan, my little USB fan on me, but I won't make you look at the sweat dripping off my face. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're ready. Mr. Rez said status quo is absolutely the best, or more like status cool. Thank you. Let me open up here. 1 second. Need to copy this this breaking news that I didn't have a chance to open yet. Smash the like button if you haven't yet, guys. I'm going to start out with the breaking news just because I think a lot of people probably haven't heard it yet. And I want to make sure that you're all aware of what's going on. I really appreciate you all bearing with me. I know it is not like the most thrilling thing in the world to see me doing all this stuff. Okay, we are ready. And yet another super chat from Austin Patton. I really appreciate your support. $5 in the super chat. The article I read said the cop was a senior cop. No excuse. I agree. We'll dive into all of that. No matter what they say, there's just literally no excuse for this. None at all. It's disgusting what has happened in Minnesota. Just horrific. All right, so this is really sad news. There's been a school shooting that just broke. The news just broke right as I was about to go live. So I don't like reporting this news. I remember really thinking back in 2012 when Sandy Hook happened that was going to be it, that was going to be the turning point. And my oldest son was 6 years old that year, and he was in first grade. And they locked his school down because someone had called a threat into his school. And as a parent, that was horrifying. And I will never forget the fear. And they wouldn't let the parents into the school. And it was just so scary. And I thought, with 26 people dead, things have to change. The gun laws have to change. People, even Republicans, even, fans of guns, which I'm not saying a lot of leftists own guns, and I'm not saying there needs to be a total ban on guns. So, but I thought things would change then. Fast forward to now. Nothing's changed. One person dead, officer injured after shooting at high school in Knoxville, Tennessee. So this is even updated since I last saw it. And remember, whenever there's a school shooting or any kind of mass shooting, information can change at any time. More people might be dead. Injury information could change. Things come in very quickly, and everyone's trying to make sense of what's going on. So here's here's what we know right now. One person has died and a police officer was injured after a shooting at a high school on Monday in Knoxville, Tennessee, police said. The person was pronounced dead at the scene. Knoxville Police Department in Tennessee said that multiple agencies are at the scene of a shooting in Austin East Magnet High School. There are multiple gunshot victims reported, KPD said in a tweet on Monday, including one of their officers. Special agents from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, Nashville Field Division are on the scene of the shooting, the agency tweeted. The Knox County Sheriff's Office said there is no active threat at Austin East High School. The investigation is active. Let's see. So they set up a reunification site, which I can't even imagine being a parent and having to go to that reunification site that is set up and having to wonder if your child is going to be at that reunification site, or being a spouse of a teacher or a staffer and wondering if your loved one is going to be there. We are gathering information about this tragic situation and will provide additional information as soon as possible. Bob Thomas, Knox County School Superintendent, said in a tweet. The school building has been secured and students who are not involved in the incident have been released to their families. So Governor Bill Lee said during an event Monday afternoon for people to pray for the situation and the families and the victims that might be affected by that in our state. So the officer is, according to the mayor, conscious and in good spirits, and he's going to be okay. So I want to look and see if the agency has any updates. Again, this is information that's just coming in, so I don't know what the latest update is. Let's see here. Let's see. This does not at all seem to be updated, which is strange that they linked to it. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like CNN does in fact have the latest information as far as what's been released. They're really, what do you say? What do you say that hasn't been said over and over and over again? This happens so much. This happens so often. It felt like we had a little bit of a reprieve, didn't it? Back last year during the first year of the pandemic. Now people are coming out of the woodwork. These shooters are coming out of the woodwork, and things are happening again. These shootings are happening again. And I have a feeling that it will just continue on and on and on. It's no secret that mental health is part of the issue here. That's not by any means the only part of the issue here. But through COVID, through the pandemic, mental health has become a big issue for a lot of people. COVID, even people who get COVID, there are studies now showing that people who get COVID have an increased chance of developing mental health issues. And being locked up and cooped up increases your chance of getting mental health issues. And on top of that, the fact that our country is has such a culture of gun sort of appreciation is, confounds everything. There are a lot of differences of opinions about what leads to these mass shootings and why it is that America is the country of mass shootings. Other countries don't have this issue. And even countries that end up, that typically don't have mass shootings, they have manifestos that are, they're inspired by are insane people. It's a culture of insanity. And so I suspect, I don't have data on this because I can't predict the future. So there's no hard data on the future, but the trends are that it's probably going to get worse. And people are at such a point where they're getting evicted. The rich are getting richer. Let me pull up a number here to show you how bad this is. Let's see here. So economic, people talk a lot about economic anxiety, but there is something to this as well. So we talked about mental health. We talked about the culture of guns in this country, but also during the pandemic, the world's billionaires added $5 trillion to their wealth. And the 3 wealthiest people in the United States own more wealth than the bottom 50%. So you have people who are given nothing. You have people who don't have health care. You have people who feel like they don't have any options. You have the lobby, the gun lobby that seems to have, limitless power, except for the NRA has been knocked down a little bit, but I sort of suspect that that's not really what it appears to be. Again, I don't have hard data on that, but I'm very suspicious about the appearance of the NRA being kind of knocked back a bit. I have to say I'm kind of glad that the initial headline, from the initial headlines, I suspected that this school shooting was going to be worse because it appeared that it was going to be worse. But that's horrible to say, isn't it? That's awful. Someone's died. Someone's died from a mass school shooting. That's horrible. I shouldn't be I shouldn't feel like relief. We shouldn't feel relief. But as Americans, we sort of do, because we live in a country where 26 people, including 6 and 7-year-olds, have been murdered with multiple shots to their body with assault weapons, with weapons of war. And so in comparison, we're relieved. And that's awful. That's just horrible. And so what's the answer? I live in Maryland. I live in, Maryland's a blue state, but I happen to live in an area that my county is blue, but it's also an area that is very close to people who vote for Andy Harris, who's a disgusting person, a disgusting congressman. And it's an area where there's a lot of hunting, a lot of gun collecting, a lot of gun ownership. And it is a culture. It's part of people's identity. They enjoy collecting guns. They think it's cool. They go target shooting. They go hunting. And many of these people are good people. Some of these people are progressive people. So I'm not saying that it's, awful to have guns. And I've even seen and noticed and talked to progressive, very left people whose opinions on gun ownership have changed in the last couple of years as the kind of uprising of white nationalism has, reared its head. There's a sense of fear out there for many, many reasons. So, and I'm still kind of shaping my opinion. I'm not sure where I land, but we don't need weapons of war. Nobody needs to own those. We don't need to own Armalite rifles. I know the gun people get mad when people call them assault rifles, but get over it. Armalite rifles. We don't need them. We do not need them. We just don't. Look at all these mass shootings. What do they use? That's what they use. We do not need those. Sure, the argument is, okay, well, you can still kill people with knives. Yeah, but you can't murder 26 people, including 6 and 7-year-olds, in 6 minutes with knives. You can't do it. That was back in 2012. I can't remember what grade, what was Columbine, 1999? Fact check me on that. I was in high school. And I remember over and over they looped that image, that video of that high schooler falling out the window or climbing out the window over and over and over. That same year, my high school, there were bomb threats called constantly. We had a bomb threat called, I don't know, basically every couple of days or every 3 days or every week or something for a long time. And I studied these school shootings for a while because if you guys know me at all, you know that I try to study and understand the psychology of people. I wanted to understand why those 2 boys, Dylan and Eric, why they did that. I wanted to understand, the things that they wrote in their journals and their planning and the things that they said to the other kids and how they decided who to kill. And I studied Adam Klanza, and I've read, basically every book out there on these things. You can't understand these people. If we could understand these people, then it would have been fixed. Then we wouldn't have these headlines of mass school shootings. If we understood the psychology of these these things, if we had any grasp on this, then I wouldn't be fearful of sending my children to school. Same for every parent in this country. I don't have answers. Nobody has answers. Well, I mean, people have things, to try. And there are debates to be had. There are debates that are ongoing. We got to get rid of those weapons of assault. We've got to get rid of the weapons of war. We've got to, implement the background checks. We've got to get rid of the loopholes. Shouldn't be able to buy things over the internet and in parking lots of gun shows and other ridiculous things, depending on where you live or whatever. So I don't know. Obviously this just broke, so I don't have anything prepared, but I can say that my heart hurts just so much for the children who fear going to school, for the parents who fear sending their children to school, for people who've gone through these shootings, for, the Asian Americans, the AAPI community who's just experienced a devastating mass murder. I see a lot of comments in the chat here. A lot of people feel, the same way. Most of our viewers here are progressive, and I suspect we're pretty much here on the same page. There are certainly variances in opinions, and I think that's okay. And I think dialogue is a good thing. There are some people who have a hard line, no guns at all. There are other people who are pro-gun, but with background checks and things like that. And I think that is okay. It's okay to have differences of opinion. Paul Elliott, I don't know why, oops, I didn't mean to put yours up, but there you go. I was trying to find Paul Elliott's super chat here. Here we go. Paul Elliott, $5 in the super chat. The working class should never give up their guns. Marx. So I think, that's, Paul, what a lot of leftists, even leftists who I wouldn't have expected to hear this from, that's where a lot of leftists have landed that I've spoken to lately. It's hard. It's hard because, we know that the government it is very possible that the government could become everything we've been warned against. It's very possible. Anything's possible. So do you remove, any semblance of protection in the form of, guns? It's a question people really have to answer for themselves and see where they land. So I do not think that everybody should have to give up their guns, and that would not happen in this country anyway. So I think, we do have to give up weapons of war and armed light rifles and things like that. But yeah, I don't know, other than eliminating those things and strengthening our background checks and things like that, and having a more stringent process, what we can do. I do know that it's pretty easy to kind of, in certain cases, to kind of trick the system. And, do you have any psychiatric issues? Well, no, I don't. It's pretty easy to do that. And we know with Kyle Rittenhouse, you can just get a gun from somebody else, or borrow it from a friend, or get it from your parent, or whatever. It's not difficult to get a gun, not hard at all. So I don't know what the answer is, but I think a lot of people do share your opinion, Paul, and Marx's opinion. Okay, So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. This isn't just, me talking to you. I definitely want to hear your thoughts as well. If you haven't already, smash the like button and share this stream. If you haven't done this, we are moving people over to Twitch to make sure that you can always find us there. Baron Saturday says most shootings are done with 22s, 25s, 380s, etc., not AR-15s or AK-47s. Yeah, but mass shootings and the ones that do the most damage the fastest are those, assault weapons. So that's, I think, what, when I go back to the Sandy Hook example, the Newtown example, that couldn't have been done in those few minutes without, that weapon. So I think that's part of the point here. So twitch.tv/statuscoup also, so we can always contact you no matter what happens, no matter what these third-party platforms do to us. statuscoup.pub/email. Open up a new tab and make sure your email is there. Okay. All right. So let's get to the big news. And I also, not that that's not big news, but the news that's in the headline of this video. And I also have to tell you that John Farina, the photojournalist who was the one who captured the incredible historic footage of the officer getting crushed in the Capitol insurrection, is headed as we speak. He's, about to board his plane. By the way, I need to check and make sure he doesn't need me. 1 second here. I'm managing a million things at once. Everything good to go. Okay. I'm going to turn on my sound too, because he's about to board his plane. So he's on his way right now to Minneapolis. Because the police have murdered yet another Black man. This is not surprising, but seeing as how the trial for Derek Chauvin is happening now, the fact that the police murdered another innocent Black man during the trial for a police officer who murdered a Black man is astonishing. If this doesn't show you that we have a systemic problem in our country, I don't know what will. So let's go over what is happening here. Let's do a deep dive. Nina Turner just wanted to kind of point out her tweet. The death of Daunte Wright is not accidental, it's systemic. So Aaron Ruper, he's a journalist who really all he does is kind of record other people's recording or other news outlets reporting. But I did want to share with you the update here. And I'll go back into the details of what led up to this, but this is kind of the latest news of what they said. This police officer, they shot an innocent Black man, but here's what they're saying happened, that it was accidental. Why aren't you playing? Why aren't you playing? Hold on, guys, 1 second. I have no idea what this video is I'm playing. Why aren't you playing video? Okay, well, I'll just read it to you. Why are we terminating this officer? As you can hear, the officer, while struggling with Mr. Wright, shoots taser several times, shouts taser. That's part of the officer's training prior to using the taser, which is a less lethal device. That is done to make her partners aware that a taser, but she accidentally used the handgun instead of the taser. And he's explaining where you're supposed to put your handgun versus your taser. On and on and on. So he's essentially saying that it's totally fine. Not, he's not saying it's totally fine, but he's excusing it. So that Mr. Wright was killed with a single bullet. And just a total mistake, guys. Which is, of course, insanity. Here's what CNN reported, so we can get into some more details here. Minnesota officer shouted taser, but fired a gun instead, fatally shooting a man at a traffic stop, police say. Now, think about this. This is a Black man. Look at, he has a small child. There he is holding his child at a 1-year birthday. So this man was stopped, just a traffic stop, but was murdered. Let me see if this video plays, just out of curiosity. I must have my sound settings wrong. Okay. A 20-year-old man was fatally shot during a traffic stop after a Minnesota police officer shouted taser, but fired a handgun instead. Brooklyn Center Police Chief Tim Gannon said. Daunte Wright was driving with his girlfriend Sunday afternoon when he was pulled over in the Minneapolis suburb. Earlier, police said they tried to take the driver into custody after learning during a traffic stop that he had an outstanding warrant. The man got back into his vehicle and an officer shot him, police said. They said the man drove several blocks before striking another vehicle. Bodycam video released by the police chief Monday provided more details about what happened. Wright got out of his car, but then got back in. It's not clear why, but the police chief told reporters it appeared from the video that Wright was trying to leave. An officer is then heard shouting, taser, 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 but then fires a gun, not a taser, at Wright. Holy shit, the officer screams. I shot him. I would just like to point something out. Just pointing this out. Tasers and guns are not the same thing. Tasers and guns are not the same thing. Just making that clear. The police chief said the shooting appeared to be an accidental discharge that resulted in the tragic death of Mr. Wright. Gannon offered his deepest sympathies to Wright's family and vowed continued transparency. Yeah, very transparent. So transparent, you guys. Good job. There's nothing I can say to lessen the pain that Mr. Wright's family, friends, for that feeling of loss that they must have, the chief said. That pain is shared by the community and also all those involved in the incident. The shooting happened in Brooklyn Park, about 10 miles from where former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin was on trial for the killing of another Black man, George Floyd. Governor Tim Walz offered his condolences to Wright's family. Gwen and I are praying for Daunte Wright's family as our state mourns another life of a Black man taken by law enforcement, Walz tweeted. Wright called his mother during the traffic stop. The police chief said Wright was initially pulled over due to an expired tag. Wright was initially pulled over due to an expired tag. Does anyone think that if a white man had an expired tag that we would right now be talking about a murder? Would that white man be dead right now? Does anyone think that? No. Because that's not what would have happened. That white man would not be dead right now. Daunte is dead right now because he's a Black man. This is systemic. 10 miles away from where Derek Chauvin is on trial for killing George Floyd. Gannon said he had very little information on the warrant, other than it was a gross misdemeanor warrant. Moments before he was killed, Wright called his mother and said he had been pulled over. He was with his girlfriend Sunday afternoon when a police officer stopped him. His mother, Katie Wright, told CNN affiliate WCCO. He said they pulled him over because he had air fresheners hanging from the rearview mirror, Katie Wright said. Raise your hand if you have an air freshener hanging from your rearview mirror. Literally, that's what air fresheners are for. That's where you're supposed to hang them. Where else are you supposed to put your car's air freshener? That is where you're supposed to hang them. So this man is dead because he wanted his car to smell nice. And oh yeah, because he's black. During their call, Katie Wright heard some of the conversation between police and her son. She told CNN affiliate KARE. I heard the police officer come to the window and say, "Put the phone down and get out of the car." And Daunte said, "Why?" And he said, "We'll explain to you when you get out of the car," Katie Wright told KARE. So I heard the phone get either put on the dashboard or dropped. And I heard scuffling. And I heard the police officer say, "Daunte, don't run." And then the other officer said, "Put the phone down," and hung it up. It was not immediately clear to CNN how Katie Wright knew police hung up her son's phone. She also told KARE she called her son back about a minute later, and his girlfriend picked up the phone and said that he had been shot. She put the phone on the driver's side, and my son was laying there lifeless. Katie Wright wept as she told WCCO about her son's final moments. "He didn't deserve to be shot and killed like this," she said. Wright was headed to his brother's new home. Daunte Wright's older brother, Damek Bryant, told CNN he thinks Wright did not know he had a warrant out for his arrest. Moments before the traffic stop, Bryant said, Wright was heading to Bryant's new home for a visit. Bryant said he had texted Wright asking him what was taking so long, and Wright said he had stopped by a car wash. Bryant said when Wright was pulled over, he sent a text saying, "I got pulled over," and asked about insurance information. Bryant said he told his brother to call their mother for that information, and he did. But by that time, Bryant said, officers had already entered Wright's name in the system. So he called my mom, and she said, "Put me on the phone with the officer," but he already told him his name, not thinking he had a warrant. Cops came back to the car, and the original stop was for air fresheners. They asked him to step out the car, and his first instinct was, "What did I do? What's wrong?" And they were like, "Well, put the phone down, get out the car now, we'll talk to you about it when you get out." So he gets out the car, and there's a bunch of police already, Bryant said. So they asked him to put his hands behind his back, and then he tries to get back in the car to leave, and they fired. Bryant said Wright's girlfriend called my mom on FaceTime and said they shot Daunte, and mom was like, "Let me see him," and he was slumped over, Bryant said, wiping away tears. "We don't even really know why. We know what happened, and we don't know why." And as you guys probably saw on social media, there were a lot of protests last night. Hundreds protested. I suspect it will grow. So now more than 500 members of the Minnesota National Guard have been activated. And the Guard said it plans to increase the numbers of members on duty in response to the events overnight in Brooklyn Center. The Guard had originally been planning to increase the number of members as closing arguments approach in the Chauvin trial. "We will continue to assist in protecting lives and property and maintaining peace in Minnesota's community." Protecting lives. Not going so great. So you can see here some of the crowd. And Wright's case was referenced today in the Chauvin trial. And they will add more police tonight. This is, of course, all extremely distressing. As Status Quo does, we will be on the ground there starting tonight. The incredible photojournalist John Farina will be there on the ground tonight and for as long as is necessary. So definitely make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Please open a new tab right now if you are not already on Twitch, and follow us, twitch.tv/statusquo. That way, no matter what YouTube does, if they kick us off, whatever, you can see what's happening on the ground. We won't censor. We won't, interview the police and give you their PR response. We'll show you what's actually happening. Please, also, right now, open a new tab, statusquo.pub/email, so we can keep you up to date on all of John's reporting live on the ground about what's happening in Minneapolis, Brooklyn Center, the suburb, near Minneapolis, throughout this week. Just, again, there are no words. Obviously, I'm, a privileged white girl, and I don't know how Black people in this country can possibly. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. We all, regardless of our skin color or whatever, it's time to, in my personal opinion, it's time to come together to fight against police brutality. When George Floyd was murdered by police, there were a lot of protests all across the country. Status Quo covered a lot of them in several different states. People felt a lot of hope. Unfortunately, protests died down. The powers that be fought back, but they're not going to stop murdering Black people. They're not going to stop murdering people of color. They're not going to stop mistreating, Indigenous people. They're not going to stop. An air freshener. Where do you hang your air freshener, Minneapolis police? Where do you hang your air freshener, Brooklyn? What is it? Not Brooklyn Park. That's somewhere near where I live. Brooklyn Center police. A white person would not be dead right now. A Black man is. A son is without a father. A mother is without a son. A girlfriend is without a boyfriend. A brother is without a brother. Because some dumbass police officer is saying that they accidentally deployed their taser. I don't care, I don't care if they did accidentally do it or not. The outcome is the same. And I think you literally have to be not bright or not right in the head to make such a mistake. So either way, you deserve to lose your job and go to jail. You deserve consequences for your actions. And so that police chief who is saying that police officer will not be fired, that is absurd. And there's a reason that people are fighting back. And there is a reason that these protests will very likely grow. So once again, John Farina, the incredible freelance photojournalist, will be on the ground in Brooklyn Center, Minneapolis, Minneapolis suburb for us starting tonight. And, we'll see what happens. So I definitely urge you to join us and see what's really happening, not edited by mainstream media, not filtered through press releases from the police. And that's what we're all about here at Status Coup. If you haven't yet, please smash the like button. Please open up that new tab if you're watching us on YouTube or somewhere else. Twitch.tv/statuscoup. Follow us there. Also, subscribe there. There are different subscription options. We are also seeing a dramatic decline in our revenue because of YouTube, because YouTube is making us not seen, to be frank. So if you are able to support us at any amounts at all, you can head on over to gofundme.com/statuscoup. We've had some incredible support throughout the day. Thank you so much, Andy. Thank you, Murat. Thank you, Dana. Thank you, Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous. Thank you, Arthur. Thank you, Kevin. And the list goes on and on. You can also join our Discord server to keep the chat going 24/7. Join as a member of Status Coup, just $5 a month, or there are other subscription levels. statuscoup.com/join. We really have a great time in the Discord. The $5 a month is worth that alone. But we also have monthly Ask Me Anything calls with Jordan and myself. And those calls are always a lot of fun. And you are funding, the media revolution. You're funding independent media. So we are never answerable to corporations. We are only answerable to you, the viewer. And by the way, the incel who is trolling me in the chat, I wish the best for you. Good luck out there. It's a hard world for you. Let's see. We have some super chats coming in, which are incredibly appreciated. You really help us. You guys keep us going. It's tough out there. It's really hard as an independent media company. So we appreciate you so much. Jonathan Blazer, $4.99 in the super chat. It's going to be a hot summer. It sure is. It sure is. You are right about that. Let's see here. Silent Mist on Twitch says, nice, we do a lot with Jimmy Dore. Speaking of Jimmy Dore, Jordan was on with Jimmy the other day, so definitely check out Jimmy's channel to see a great interview that Jordan did speaking about exactly what's going on with YouTube suppressing us, and it seems like trying to edge us off the channel. So let's see. Not provided, $5 in the super chat. Thank you. Being neurodiverse, I remember when I was younger, a policeman grabbed my phone and hung it up when I had my legal representation on the phone. That's disgusting and horrible. Police officers are not trained in the right ways, and I think even if they were, I think they wouldn't care, to be honest, a lot of them. And it really takes, I don't know, every neurodiverse person is different. My son is neurodiverse as well. And it really, unless someone knows him, they don't know how to approach him. And I can absolutely see things ending poorly, with him or for him. He is, he's a white person, so he has that going for him. But I worry. I very much worry for him. So I feel you. I don't understand myself. And I know I can never understand, but I feel you. Scrolling. Austin Patton says Status Quo is one of the best in the field of journalism out there. Silent Mist is saying on Twitch NOCTE. You Twitch chatters have like really hard names to say. Thanks for the follow. Very, very good. Let's see here. Okay, so I hope that I'm going to look at Twitch now. I hope a ton of people have joined us on Twitch. It really helps us. So NOCTE 2310, thanks for the follow on Twitch. Bright Path Video, thanks for the follow on Twitch. JCAS, Angel, Evangeline, Empty Paradox, Tristan T, Ilon Piranha, Hype Train. Oh, your community. Oh, Hype Train. Oh, Hype Train is a thing. A Hype Train just started in your channel. Oh, that seems fun. Yay. I told you I'm super new to this. Hype Train seems amazing and fun. Your community contributed a total of 2 sub gifts and 500 bits. Yay. Thank you, guys. Woohoo. Katron89 subscribed with Prime. Katron89 followed you. Yay. Woohoo. All right, remember, follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/statusquo. You guys are just the best. John says, gonna be tough trashing Amazon on Twitch. But like, it's not about, well, that's not trashing. It's like reporting the truth. And honestly, we will report the truth no matter what. And it's hard. Google owns YouTube. Horrible, both all horrible. It's like there's nothing good. When you really break it down, there's nothing pure. So I look at it as we're using these evil companies in order to broadcast the truth. So I look at it as we're getting one over on them. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. So Baron Saturday says, what if I'm boycotting Amazon? Well, that's fine. I completely understand that, and I appreciate that. It's totally your choice. But you could look at it as, just like I just said, you're boycotting Amazon, but you're saying, screw you, Amazon. I'm going to watch Status Quo because they're telling the truth, and they're doing so on your platform. So double whammy. But again, totally your call. So speaking of, I always forget to take these down. Speaking of insane PR, going back to what I said, that Status Quo is not going to put you through a filter. We're going to report the truth to you. Here's what happened earlier. Let me zoom you in so you can see a bit better. I tweeted this earlier today. This headline change should be taught in journalism, psychology, and evil marketing classes all the world over. Also, New York Times, it goes without saying that this is why people trust outlets like us at Status Quo and not you. So if you all are not familiar, this is one of my favorite Twitter accounts, and it's called Editing the Gray Lady, which is a nickname for the New York Times. So it's called at NYT_diff. So it tracks whenever the New York Times changes their headline, and I believe their like abstract or summaries, things like that. So they changed their headline from "Officer near Minneapolis kills motorist and a crowd confronts the police." That headline seems accurate, right? Well, in green is what they changed it to. "Officer near Minneapolis shoots motorist who dies and a crowd confronts police." What the hell? And stronger words. So they changed it from kills to shoots. That is outright propaganda. That is, there's no there's no way around it. That is designed to paint a completely different picture in your mind, an entirely different image in your mind. That shift in headline is designed to make the quick headline scanner think differently of this police officer. Most people don't read entire articles. They scan headlines and summaries and things like that. So going from officer near Minneapolis kills to officer near Minneapolis shoots is a different painted picture. So the man dies is different than kills. Kills is active. Dies is passive on the part of the officer. And you guys know me. I'm fascinated with psychology. My background is in marketing, and I could not believe this when I could believe this when I saw it, because I look at this account all the time. But this was a particularly egregious example. So egregious that it trended today. YouTube, or not YouTube, the New York Times should be held to account for this. Of course, they won't be. They do this all the time. It just so happened that this one took off. It's what the corporate media does. They purposefully manipulate the headline and the way that they word things so that you think of stories in different ways. They want certain people or certain corporations or certain situations to look better or worse to you, depending on how the powers that be want it to be presented. And that's disgusting. I don't, and that's just what we see. They also, along with other organizations, when you make an edit in the copy of an article, etc., you're supposed to make a note of it. You're supposed to let people know that you've done so with an editor's note. Well, there's a lot of sly editing going on as well. So, Yi says Reddit is owned by Tencent. Yes, Tencent's another company to look into. There's nothing, like, none of all these companies get bought out by evil corporations. So that's true. Yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys that quickly, for sure. So I have other stories for you as well, but I'm going to have to be up late for when John lands and starts reporting on the ground in Minneapolis. So I'm going to hold those stories for tomorrow or whenever we'll kind of feel our way around. Maybe I'll do an earlier live stream tomorrow. But hold on to your seats, because I've got some things to say on the topic of Glenn Greenwald and Matt Gaetz, which was trending today. There's some stuff going on. I don't necessarily agree with Glenn. In fact, I do not agree with Glenn. Also on the topic of the Huntington Beach situation yesterday, where there was a white nationalist rally. Tina Desiree Berg was on the ground. So she actually got assaulted, and her camera or her microphone was trashed. So it got really, really tense there in Huntington Beach, California yesterday. Thankfully, the white nationalists were outnumbered. So you can actually check that. We have some content up on our channel already, so you can check that out before I get to it live. Dare to be Darlene. No worries, it's up on the channel already. So don't worry about that. I'll take a couple questions if you want before I go. And I'll remind you to definitely get on our email list so I can let you know when John is live on the ground in Minneapolis tonight and throughout the week. statusq.pub/email, so you can for sure get that. Also text COUP to 370-370. Get your phone out right now and make sure you do that. Text COUP to 370-370. Keep those super chats coming whenever you can, when John is live. That really, really helps. And the GoFundMe. So YouTube has dropped our income dramatically, which I know I have repeated, but it's necessary because, to be quite frank with you, it's been scary for us. We're a small startup, so we rely on, the support of our viewers, which is why we're able to not do, and we would never do it anyway, but the dastardly things that, the New York Times and Friends do. We always will maintain truth in journalism and not the trickery that those other guys do. So GoFundMe.com/statuscoup. You can also join our Discord. If you miss us, you can always chat with us 24/7. We're in there chatting away. Lots of the people you see in the chats are frequent commenters in our Discord. Join us, statuscoup.com/join, just $5 a month, or you can join at one of these other supporting levels. We definitely would love if you become an annual member. That would certainly help us out for sure. All right, do we have any chats, any questions? Questions before I go? Charlie asks, what exactly are you providing here in the live stream? You read others' viewpoints, mostly leftist views. So Charlie, if you're new to us, yeah, we are, unapologetically leftist. We do, though, have, conservative viewers, independent viewers, libertarians, because we tell the truth. Because we are investigative reporters. For example, we do deep dive investigations on topics like the Flint water crisis. Even if, our favorites, for example, Jordan and I we're Bernie Sanders supporters, but if he screws up, we say so. So we're not beholden to anyone. We're just truth tellers. We just want the best for people. We do old school style guerrilla journalism. So, and we don't just read other people's viewpoints. So that's the thing. Today, certainly, on these live streams, we do, go through other articles or whatever, but our main thing, the thing that makes us status quo, is our in-field reporting. So that's, what I was talking about, like John Farina, our photojournalist who's freelancing for us, is going to be on the ground reporting tonight in Minneapolis. That's our thing, in-field reporting, investigative reporting. But we do these live streams too. So yeah, so welcome if you're new. I hope you subscribe. Twitchers, do you have any questions? Twitch chatters? Oh, Ted Baxter. I just got the Mary Tyler Moore, I think it was, I don't remember which magazine it is, but they did a special limited edition I don't know, magazine thing. So I just bought it. I love Mary Tyler Moore. I didn't realize it was Minneapolis, though. I don't know why I didn't notice that. Oh, Charlie says I am subscribed. Good. I would like to report my Italian neighbors for using a meat tenderizer uncivilly. I don't know what that means. Chester Williams says, I had a super chat. I think it got missed. Oh, no. Shoot. Can you retype it or something? Sorry. Dare to Beat Arlene says, Amazon has long tentacles. They're everywhere. That is so true. We were actually, before the Damasco company kind of saved our website, we were, our host was HostGator. And Anthony told us, a lot of these hosts and companies are running their servers through Amazon's S3. Basically, like everybody now is running their hosting through Amazon. Even companies that you know and love and like think are safe are possibly running their hosting through Amazon. So, you can try to be as pure as you want, but it's not, I don't think it's possible. I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard. La la la. John says, nice part is Twitch bans hateful, misleading content and comments a lot faster than YouTube. So heads up. That's good. As long as it's not, too heavy-handed, like as far as that they would. Oh, okay. So X for Amazon Web Services. So it's not called S3 anymore. S3, I guess, was because I used to, so many years ago now, like I used to store stuff there. What did I used to store there? I used to use S3 all the time. I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, AWS, I guess it was that HostGator's using. Yep. Oh, okay. X4 says simple storage service is part of AWS. Got it. Silent Mist says, not last hosting provider. That has nothing to do with Amazon. I don't know what that means. Okay, guys. Your to-do list. I know you don't want homework, but it's important. Do what it says in my name, statusco.pub/email, so you can know when we go live out in the field tonight with John. Minneapolis, it's going to be wild. Lots of police, lots of protesters, probably lots of tear gas and things being thrown and rubber bullets, and think back to, the first days of the George Floyd protests in Minneapolis. Probably that. So also text COUP to 370-370. If you're able to support us in any amount, GoFundMe.com/statuscoup. Join us in our Discord chat 24/7 by joining statuscoup.com/join. We have it just for our members so that there are no trolls. So it's much better. It's a great chat. statuscoup.com/join. Okay, Chester, let me find you. Chester Williams, who gave us super chat. Thank you. The reason why Daunte Wright got stopped, tagged, was a similar reason why a black second lieutenant in Virginia got brutally pulled out of his car and cuffed at gunpoint for absolutely no reason. The lieutenant is suing the police. Yeah, that's a great point. And that video has been going around. And actually, I've seen that quite a bit on CNN, which surprised me. I watch CNN, so you don't have to. That was disgusting. Like, this is a black active service member, and the way that the police treat him is horrific. And, thank goodness that he wasn't murdered by the police. And good for him for suing. Good for him. It's unbelievable, this country. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you for following on Twitch. Thank you for subscribing on Twitch. And thank you for all the support. Definitely keep an eye out on us for tonight. Follow us everywhere at Status Coup. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook, but like nobody cares about Facebook these days. All right, guys. I love all of you. Bye-bye.